Going to do south of the cathedral?
Downtown developer Tom Gilmore puts it this way.
Well, and people don't think I'm crazy anymore, which I think is a real plus, you know.
The transition from abandoned buildings into apartment space is moving very fast. But what about condominium ownership? Gilmore's current buildings are all rentals, but he told partners that ownership units should work just as well.
I saw downtown with all the infrastructure coming into downtown, all the highways, the subway system. It's the only place where you can have a diverse workforce. So I always thought downtown would have a life. And when I started doing that, timing was good, so we got lucky. Things worked out. As I got more and more interested in downtown, I started to look at residential. And when I saw what Tom did, I thought he was early. I thought he was very gutsy. I thought he had the vision. But it wasn't, when he started, it wasn't something I felt ready to do it. I walked down here, I thought he was a little nutty to even actually start doing it, in particular this corner. And fast forward a couple years, 2-3 years ago, I keeping an eye on it, and I saw what he did. I saw the fact that he could actually turn this corner into what it is today. Then I knew this would work.
Goodwin Gaw is from Hong Kong, and that gleaming city bears no resemblance to old downtown Los Angeles. So when Gaw considered buying downtown property to sell as condos, well, he frankly admits that it took a gambler like Gilmore to push the idea through.
Tom has been fearless. So I'm not the first wave. He was the first wave. For being the second wave, I can learn from what he did and try to not make the mistakes he made.
Are you more fearless today than before you met him?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that I've seen what he has done when even as fearless as I was, I thought he was nuts doing what he was doing. So I'm convinced.
Goodwin Gaw bought the old Douglas building at 3rd and Spring Streets. The one-time railroad ticket center, which later became a department store, also became an abandoned, filthy wreck. But Gaw plunged in to reconstruct 50 condominium units. He hired New York realtor Millie Radkovich to market those properties. Brochures were printed, an office was opened, but Millie never got there. Every unit was sold this month in just a few minutes, all by word of mouth. 15 backup offers were taken on each and every unit, and Millie was stunned.
We didn't even need the office. It was subscribed about 2 months ago, and we just have a wait list now.
You had to be shocked.
I was. Everybody that came in gave me a check.
No one was prepared for $20 million worth of condominiums to sell in 1 hour. They cost between $300,000 and $700,000 each, nearly the average price of a Los Angeles home. But few homes here were built in 1898, hand-built in 1898. Just ask the men cleaning the Douglas building.
When I look at it and I see how each brick is special made and all the craftsmanship that went into it, you don't see that anymore at all.
So, I mean,
plain glass and ugly.
I jump at the chance to do it, and I love it because I know it's just not anybody can do it. I love it.
what do you think about the idea that you're taking downtown in a completely new direction here? I mean, you're working on basically department stores, and you're turning this into someone's new home.
It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I was told that these were being turned into apartments. I just couldn't believe it.
Clearly, Southland residents are also beginning to take notice in this handiwork.
That building sat there for 90 years. You probably never looked at it.
Not that close, but now it's an eye grabber now when it's clean. It will be an eye grabber.
They don't build buildings like that now. It's mainly cookie cutter, and mainly it's right angles. So you don't see curves in buildings very often. It's a very unique building. And more stuff like this needs to be publicized. Yeah. It's not Pittsburgh and New York, it's Los Angeles. It has some old buildings.
It is impressive and sold out in just 1 hour, all 50 units. What is the major hurdle that's left?
I would hope that the politics doesn't get in the way. Some of these projects will be the 80-20 affordable market rate housing, and some of these projects will get built with subsidized financing from the government. And I'm a big believer that, look, if you want something from the government, you have to give something back. But I think there's a movement about this inclusionary zoning, and I think something like that, while the idea is sound, I think would stall the momentum. At the end of the day, the politicians need to be smart enough to not do anything to stall the momentum we're getting. Because right now there's a lot of developer, a lot of private money coming downtown to help make it work. I'm a big believer that we need every developer who wants to do it, let them do it. Because you need the critical mass to create a true living environment, to create a true neighborhood.
Coming up later, we will meet some of downtown's newest residents and some of its oldest.
Camera, white man.